Now, there is always a statement that has always gone ahead to be made that there are levels to this game, and people thought that it's really a joke. Indeed, there are levels to this game, and if you are a champion like Arsenal, you need to obviously obey the rules of the game. Sometimes you might defy them, and they obviously get you results, but most of the teams that have gone ahead to defy them haven't gone ahead to get the positive results as anticipated. And this time round, they are going in for what we call what the transfer law really states, that you don't need to downgrade. You need to upgrade, because every time you upgrade, you obviously get close to obviously maintaining the levels that you've set and winning trophies in there for you. And this is where we having a story of Julián Álvarez in Arsenal and Gabriel Martinelli out in a swap deal that has been proposed from the side of Arsenal. We also gonna be talking about Josko Gvardiol to Madrid. He has been offered to Real Madrid. And lastly, we'll talk about Karl, one of the goalkeepers from, I think, the Arsenal Academy that has been finally sold, and Arsenal has gone ahead to get in money that you can refer to as what we call pure profit. Right? So, thank you very much for watching it through. Continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope everything is really doing okay and fine. And we're here to bring you the latest news and information of what is really happening in here. So, let's obviously gel down into this. So, it is Team Talk, one of the credible sources from England, telling us that Arsenal are preparing a huge move for Julián Álvarez this summer. PSG are also pushing to sign the Atletico Madrid striker, but Barcelona are now backing away from the rest due to the expected transfer fee. Arsenal are even considering including Gabriel Martinelli in a potential swap deal to convince Atletico to sell. Now, you know there are levels to the game. And if you are asked, Martinelli out of Arsenal and Julián Álvarez coming straight at Arsenal, is it an upgrade or a downgrade? That is the huge question. You understand? Now, one will ask himself that is Martinelli one of those players that can be considered as a center forward? Because people think that primarily Julián Álvarez is a striker. Let me teach you. He's a multifunctional player. Julián Álvarez can be played as a left back. He can be played as a right forward. Julián Álvarez can be played as a number 10. He can also be played as a number 9. Now, let's talk about Gabriel Martinelli. We've seen him being played as a left forward. We've seen him being played as a right forward. We've seen him being played as a center forward, and he has delivered in all of those roles. But let's also talk about when Julián Álvarez has been played in those positions. What has he offered onto the pitch? All right. As a left forward, he played so much in there as a City player, and he was a better player. That is it. Than Martinelli. I tell you, if you offer me Julián Álvarez as a left forward, I pick him over Gabriel Martinelli. If you offer me Julián Álvarez as a right forward, I take him ahead of Gabriel Martinelli. If you offer him to me as a 10, playing behind a number 9, I obviously get him in. And if you offer me Julián Álvarez as a number 9, I obviously take him in ahead of a player called Gabriel Martinelli. That is it. No doubt about it. I obviously take him in as he comes. That is it. And I don't lie about it, because in every position you put Gabriel Martinelli, this guy performs better than him. Now, at Arsenal, this guy is really very instrumental. And that's why they are trying to do whatever it takes to get him in, right? He's one of those that has gone ahead to obviously be consistent ever since he came in through from River Plate. Gabriel Martinelli is one of those players who came in through and did what we call trials, and did trials, and he failed at Barcelona and Manchester United, Gabriel Martinelli, and he went back to Brazil. And he signed for Arsenal in the July of 2019 from the Brazilian club known as Iltano, a reported fee of £6 million. That is it. And by then, Unai Emery was the manager for the club of Arsenal. And I think 4 or 5 months later, Unai Emery was sacked by Arsenal, and he went ahead to obviously see a man known as Mikel Arteta offer him a starting position in his 11, right? And ever since then, Martinelli hasn't gone ahead to look back. But when you look at these two players, they come from South America, and this guy is known as Julián Álvarez comes in from River Plate, 20 million euros to Man City, gets into the City side, and he scored goals that I think Martinelli, I think every season, Álvarez has gone ahead to outscore, this guy, because in his first season at Man City, I think he scored very many goals, So he's a better player than this guy, I tell you. And he's an upgrade on Martinelli, an upgrade on Gyökeres, an upgrade on Jesus, right? So that's why Arsenal is willing to obviously say, you want close to 100, and is it 130 million euros? But we can give you Gabriel Martinelli as a make weight, and maybe we get you maybe 100 million euros. You get. And that will be a very huge sacrifice for Arsenal, because right now Martinelli, Arsenal can make a huge profit because he came in through for £6 million, but at 40 million pounds, Arsenal can dispose him off, meaning that they are losing a profit of like 30 million pounds. And I don't know how much Atletico Madrid will value this player, because they tend to acquire players on the cheap and sell them expensively. You've seen it on Ederson, They've pulled out of the Ederson deal because Atalanta was calling in for 45 to 50 million euros. And they're like, let's go in for is it Yao Neves? What's the name? Yao Gomez for the club of Wolverhampton Wanderers, because the team had already been relegated and they could get him on a cheap. You understand? So that's what they do to Arsenal. They'll be like, we want Martinelli, right? But can you get us 100 million? And Arsenal will be like, but Martinelli is worth 50 million euros. And they'll be like, the guy is left with just on his contract, please. So please, do the needful. You understand? So I think it's going to be a tricky deal for Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid will play a hard ball, you get, or will play the hard-to-get game. And then I tell you, it will speak volumes in there for you. That is all about Gabriel Martinelli and this guy. Now, they've hinted onto other people, other teams that are interested in this guy. It's Barcelona pulling out. They don't have the money. If a team doesn't have 120 million euros minimum, they won't get this guy. I tell you, because They bought him expensively for 95 million euros from Man City, and they look out for a profit of like 30 to 40 million, right? So I don't think that Barcelona can buy a player worth that amount of money, unless otherwise they dispose of like 5 homegrown players, including Balde, if they can get like 50 million euros from Balde. Who else can they dispose of his really homegrown that can obviously get them some good amount of money, you know? So they need sales. That is it. They need to make huge sales to obviously see themselves here. For PSG, they can come in through and obviously convince this player to come in through and really sign for them. That is it. And it will depend on the Champions League final. That is the result. As Arsenal went ahead to beat Atletico Madrid and knock them out, to send a message to Julián Álvarez that this is where you belong. You don't belong to Atletico Madrid. They also have to go and beat PSG because PSG is a stumbling block into them acquiring a player called Julián Álvarez. And they too want more two players from PSG, Ousmane Dembele and Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, meaning that if they beat them, they might get Julián Álvarez and one of those players in there for you because Kvisha Kvaratskhelia might be an easy buy. You understand? So that is it for now. And nothing will stop them from acquiring these players because they do have the money. I tell you, Arsenal is making huge money. Premier League money they made, £200 million. Then you have to look at the Champions League. You understand? It might also climax to that. £200 million in there, plus the Get collection in there. Then you have to look through the deal of Adidas, Visit Rwanda, deal is coming in through, and many more. They might really climax like 700 or 800 million pounds this season. A record fee for the club of Arsenal, or a record revenue for the club of Arsenal, something that they haven't gone ahead to make. You understand? So, as it stands right now, I'll come up and really confirm to you that Arsenal is taking the lead and it's really going to the right direction in there for you. And this swap deal, to me, speaks volumes. That is it. The swap deal speaks volumes, I tell you. And it won't really stop a club of Arsenal from really doing it. All else, they'll be like, we can get you the amount of money that you want because getting Julián Álvarez in at the club of Arsenal is a statement signing. You know, you are getting in a forward who is coming in through at Arsenal knowing that he's going to be given first priority, you know, ahead of Victor Gyökeres. But even Victor Gyökeres knows to eat that. He has been playing with these players for some long time and they know him better and will stand a chance to obviously score in very many goals. And maybe the manager will be thinking of really getting him in. Julián Álvarez will be like, I'm also here. I've come in for huge money. I'm a Premier League proven player. Been at City for 2 seasons. I can turn things around. You understand? So I think the coming in through of this guy obviously also sends a message to the competitors of Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, you know, Aston Villa, Spurs, and so on and so forth, that the guys are here to stay and they're here to chase for another trophy. Because if they get in Álvarez, he's a world-class player, you know, he's a winner, and his motivation is really very, very, very high. And he's going to be playing in a system that favors him as a number 9, you know, because Arsenal doesn't play like Atletico Madrid. No, Atletico Madrid, I hate how Diego Simeone coaches his players. That is it. Now, from there, let's obviously get to the side known as Madrid. But before I go, I want to obviously I want to get your views on who do you think, on whether you think Arsenal should obviously go in for this deal. You know, should Arsenal go in for this deal? Huge question in there for you. So, let's get to Real Madrid, a team that is so much in the market searching for players. Now, Felix Diaz. Real Madrid love Josko Gvardiol. They are very pleasantly surprised that the player was offered to them in the recent days. So, Man City, I think, have now gone ahead to find a solution to this guy. And what's the solution? They're like, we want him out. This season, Josko Gvardiol has been out. Has been out for almost the entire season, and his injury record has obviously gone ahead to obviously perturb everyone, with me inclusive. He has not been an injury-prone player. I don't know whether, indeed, it is one of those things that you have to obviously come up and really discuss into this particular season, because he has been out for long. When you look at this season, because there's been 2025, 2026, August, he was out for 32 days first and missed out on 3 games. Now, the broken tibia has kept him out for 118 days. How many months are those? Almost 4 months. So, I don't know exactly what has been happening with him, but will Madrid try to get in a player like Josko Gvardiol, who is an injury-prone player in his last season at Man City, But he is a very good player, that is it. Even when he was crossing from RB Leipzig, to the side known as Man City, Madrid wanted him, and they went ahead to pay huge money to get him in. He fit in well, like a glove at the club of Man City, but this season has been very bad. And what has been very important for City to come to a decision like this to offer the player to Real Madrid has been, is it Nico O'Reilly? The development of that player has gone ahead to speak volumes at Man City. He can play in the midfield, he can play as a left forward, he can play as a left back. And I think if you're Man City and you're having Otori Nouri, right, you are having Nico O'Reilly, as left backs, then in the central defense, you do have Kusanov, you've brought in Mark Gehi, you still have Diaz, Nathan Ake is in there. You might not really need a player like him, and you're like, I'm worried about his injuries, and let me look out for another player who can come and play into that central defense and really make a very huge statement. So that is all about the side of Josko Gvardiol, and Madrid were surprised that the player has been offered to them. And to a certain extent, you understand that many players might not want to stay at City because people are going to hate to leave, because there is uncertainty of how they'll be performing, and they're like, they don't want to put their careers on the line, But for me, I believe Enzo Maresca is a very beautiful manager and will get that done. The player has been offered to Real Madrid, and Madrid are really surprised for them to be offered a player they've been waiting for all that long. Now, Plettigol went ahead and obviously told us that Werder Bremen have signed Karl Hein on a permanent deal. The €3 million option to buy from Arsenal has been activated. Contract until 2030. The 24-year-old goalkeeper has a good chance to become the new number 1 at Werder Bremen. Now, Arsenal are really looking like one of the best teams that really train goalkeepers, and they are doing it for fun. So, Karl Hein to Werder Bremen, here we go, and the player has obviously been there the previous season, and now we wait to see how things really happen. And when you look at his performances, let's wait and see how things really panned out for him, Karl Hein, this season at Werder Bremen. He 2 matches in goal, but we wait and see how things really pan out. He's really pushing to get into the starting 11 there and has gone ahead to get signed. So your reactions to all the stories we've gone ahead to tackle in here, welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. This is the second video of the day, a couple of shots in there for you, and it is Julián Álvarez in, Gabriel Martinelli out. Your thoughts about this story are welcome in the comment section below. Good evening.